As the world's attention pivots back to the ongoing Israel-Hamas war after the recent conflict with Iran, questions surrounding Israel's military actions and the humanitarian crisis in Gaza grow louder. But according to a former British military commander, Israel is taking extraordinary steps to minimize civilian casualties, despite the challenges posed by Hamas tactics. Following the historic strikes on Tehran's nuclear facilities, global attention has shifted once again to the long-running Israel-Hamas conflict. For over 20 months, Israel has continued its military operations in Gaza after Hamas launched brutal surprise attacks on October 7, 2023. Throughout the conflict, the Israel Defense Forces (IDF) have faced significant scrutiny regarding civilian harm and the distribution of humanitarian aid. However, retired British Colonel Richard Kemp, in an interview with Fox News Digital, defended Israel's actions. Kemp recently returned from a fact-finding mission in Israel and Gaza. "This war has been very tough," Kemp said, emphasizing that Hamas continues to embed itself within civilian populations and tunnel networks. "In my view, the IDF have been conducting it very effectively," he added. "They've killed huge numbers of Hamas terrorists. They've destroyed a lot of Hamas infrastructure, including some of the tunnels, but they've got a long way to go yet. The fight's not over." According to Kemp, Israel's efforts to avoid civilian casualties make the operation much more difficult. He claimed to have personally witnessed the IDF taking precautions to prevent civilian deaths, calling their actions extraordinary. Kemp argued that civilian casualties in Gaza are unfortunately unavoidable due to Hamas' operational strategy. He accused the terror group of deliberately positioning itself in ways that increase the likelihood of civilian deaths to manipulate public opinion. "That's part of Hamas' primary objective," Kemp said, "to get the IDF to kill as many civilians as possible so they can vilify, isolate, and condemn Israel. These accusations of war crimes and genocide, none of which are true, serve Hamas goals." While in Gaza, Kemp visited aid distribution points managed by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, GHF, EU.S, and Israeli-backed organization. He spoke with local civilians, many of whom expressed gratitude for the assistance and acknowledged the positive role of the U.S., particularly under former President Donald Trump. These civilians largely blamed Hamas for the dire conditions they face. Addressing international criticism of the GHF, particularly from the United Nations, Kemp said the foundation is uniquely suited to deliver aid effectively in Gaza. He criticized the UN for relying on a standard template solution that he said does not work in this environment, highlighting that aid is frequently stolen by Hamas. "Some of them told me it was the first time since the war began, 20 months ago, that they have actually received any free aid at all," Kemp revealed. He added that Hamas often sells stolen aid at prices too high for ordinary civilians. Kemp urged other countries and international organizations to support the GHF, pointing to a recent $30 million contribution from the U.S. as a significant step forward. "No other country that I know of has directly contributed funding to the GHF," Kemp said. "They should, because the GHF, not the UN, is the future of aid deliveries into Gaza." He acknowledged that while the UN still has a role, it must act in the interest of the people of Gaza, not bureaucracy.